Hey guys, it's Marsha Moon here. I hope you guys are doing all right. Yeah, tonight I'm coming to you guys from my van. Oh, this is actually the second video that I'm making in my van. It's quite cozy and dark and quiet in here. Any case, so tonight I want to talk to you guys about something really interesting. And you can see it like as a metaphor or as something spiritual, psychological, or even conditioning. It's about voices. So just before I say something about that, so these videos are kind of meant to, I don't know, to inspire people who see themselves as creatives or artists or anyone who's an entrepreneur, or anyone who's just interested in like being conscious or understanding how to have a better quality life or realizing potential or whatever, that type of thing. So voices, it's something that you can talk about, and you can already see the comments in the box going, "Oh, whack, lol, you're batty and whatever." But it's actually not such a such a foreign, weird thing to talk about. It's actually quite basic, and I think most people most people have voices. I think all of us have voices in our heads. We just don't know that they're talking to us, and we're just not aware of it. And I think that is probably the main thing that I want to talk about tonight, is kind of being conscious about that there are voices in your head. I promise you there are. Go listen to it. Go listen to your head. Check it out. See even like commercial books. Like for instance, The Artist's Way, Julia Cameron, she speaks about the censor when she talks about you writing your morning pages and being aware of something breaking you down or being negative towards you or telling you you're not good enough, and she calls it the censor. I'm thinking about a guy like Alan Carr, a very popular commercial book, How to Stop Smoking, and he also speaks about the nicotine monster, and that's quite a apparent one. I think if you stop smoking, if you try to stop smoking, um, you'll realize that there's this voice talking to you and kind of trying to convince you to pick up a cigarette, and it's quite clever. It's got some sort of an intelligence about it. So it's interesting, I mean, you can look at it in different ways. You can be a scientific person, you can be nihilistic, you can be spiritual, psychological, whatever, and you can look at it from different perspectives and, kind of interpret it in your own way. But there's definitely these conversations that go on in your head. And I think it's quite important to understand that a lot of us are conditioned in a way. We probably live a big part of our lives listening to these voices without even knowing it. Conditioning, I think, is quite a big one as well. But what fascinates me is, yeah, these, as I said earlier, these voices have some sort of an intelligence. And myself, being a OCD sufferer, and for those of you guys who really understand OCD, especially the obsessive part and not the compulsive part of OCD, will know that OCD, obsessive, pure O, I've got pure O, as they call it, is actually a lot about voices. And it's a lot about something understanding and knowing you better than anyone else, and actually trying to, it constantly tries to checkmate you and the things that you're most scared of, or the things that bothers you the most. And I've always been so extremely, what's the word, flabbergasted by how this voice understands and knows me like no one else does. And yeah, so once you can differentiate between what is your choice of conversation and what is something else that you don't want, speaking to you or giving you ideas or perceptions of who you are and what you're supposed to feel and think. That is where the power comes from. I find a lot of power in giving my voices names and, kind of even describing them and giving them little personalities so that I know when the time comes, oh, okay, this is that, and it's this voice or that voice. So, yeah, and the question is, what's the real voice? Who's the real you in there? And how do you cultivate that? And is there only one real you? I kind of like the concept of my inner child, and my current self, and then my higher self. That's quite a cool one for me. And because I do cultivate these kind of visualization exercises where I spend time with my higher self and my kid. And again, it's fantasy for me, but it feels like reality. So, it whatever gives you energy and whatever inspires you is real. So, for me, knowing that, you kind of start recognizing, okay, this is your higher self, this is your child, this is your now voice, and then you hear those other voices and but this is not who you are and this is not who you want to be. And I think it also helps with your general lifestyle because, as we all know, there's a lot of manipulation out there, a lot. And if you're not, it's like the stereo MCs with Connected, what's that song? If you don't keep your mind kind of sharp, you might fall prey to other sorts of manipulation, not only in your own head but around you as well. And I think it's one of the most important things to keep your mind sharp and to make sure that you're on your own road and not someone else's road, if it's inside or outside. And that's just something really, really true for artists as well, because you manifest whatever you want to manifest. And if you're not sharp, you might just not stay on your road, or you'll go off your road completely, or it might take you a whole turn to get back to your road again. So that is a little bit of a inspiring thought, or maybe for some of you a scary thought. Hopefully not too scary. Hopefully something that you can use to help yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.